Hey! All right, so hello everybody. So I'm Carissa Marie, and it's been a minute since I've been on live because I've been like busy. It was the beginning of the school year. I have been working for myself for so long, and then I decided to partake in a job outside of myself, which is a whole nother thing. And the only reason why I did it is because it's so closely related to what I do. But it was an adjustment time wise. I was trying to figure out how to manage it. So I'm kind of stalling as people try to get on. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and introduce Miss Francine Humphrey. So I met Miss Francine a few weeks ago at a wonderful event that was honoring nonprofits. And she's really involved in the community, and that always makes my heart smile. And so I probably stalked her a little bit, and I got her card. And then I sent her a message, and I said, "Could you please be on my show?" And then I realized she probably know who the heck I was from Adam. And then I said, let me send her some videos so she knows I'm not crazy and that I actually, So I did. That's why you got the videos, because I'm like, I should do something to help her connect what I do or something, because she's probably like, I don't know this lady. She could be stalking me. But so I was just excited to see what you do. It was really hard because everybody there was doing something so awesome for the community. So, Miss Humphrey, tell me a little bit about yourself and all the things that you're involved in.
Well, thank you for having me tonight. I'm so excited, and I was looking forward to it all day until I didn't know what we were talking about, but I thought you would lead me and I would follow. So I am the um, director of financial services for the Urban League of Hampton Roads, and I do wear many hats. I'm also the president of the Urban League Guild of Hampton Roads. Now, the Urban League Guild is the affiliate to the Urban League, so we do a lot of community service, and that's why you always see me out in the community doing things. Issues concerning women is my baby. I started it in 2007, and it was to help women to have a voice that otherwise wouldn't be heard. I know when I first started my first business, there was nobody that looked like me that I could talk to about business. So I went to the Small Business Administration, talked to some elderly gentlemen there because most of them were retired. And they told me it probably would be best if I went home and had some more babies and, stayed a housewife. Yes, literally, that's kind of what they told me, and he tried to be nice about it because he didn't see any way, shape, or form that my business would be pliable or that it would be something that people would want. Well, little to his knowledge, I did not listen to him. I left there more determined than ever to start my own business, and my first business it actually was 1992, and I started doing working with companies because I was working with the interior design studio, and so that led me into accessories and accessorizing and doing events. And then I moved from just birthday parties and weddings to corporate events, and that's when I launched Issues Concerning Women, because there was a lot of women like me who wanted to start a business, just didn't know how. Then I started teaching small business classes out of my small office, and then it kind of grew to the radio show, which I still do today. And so I get the opportunity to talk to all kinds of people from all over the world about things that have to do with business, small business, and in doing so, I've connected with so many nonprofits as well, because their business structure is based on them raising monies, and small business is just a little bit different because we raise monies as well, but not in the same way that they do. But it's the concepts are the same. So a business plan, having a name, EIN numbers, all of that kind of corresponds together. And that's why I work closely with the nonprofits, because some of the things that I do in small business, they have to do as well. So I like to give that information out. My 9 to 5, that's where I do my financial wellness programs with the Urban League, helping low to moderate income families to figure out what it is they need to do, whether it's a budget or looking at their credit, changing their credit scores, dealing with their debt. And then by night, for Blacktop Business Services, which again is financial services, I get to help those middle upper income individuals who are looking for ways to invest in their retirement, but it's all about safe money strategies. So I get to do that as well. So it's all full circle and all what I love to do.
Cover the whole gamut, like all
Yeah.
the people.
It's
So
all about the money. It's all about the money because everything that I do is based on that. Because if your money's not tight, then the rest something else gonna fall apart if you don't have your
mhm,
money together. So I get the opportunity to one give back to my community
mhm.
because I grew up in Hampton Roads. So I get to work with those individuals that I would never get to work with in my business, the business side of it, because they wouldn't be coming to me looking for tax-free retirement or IRAs and anything of that nature. They're just trying to make it day to day just to pay the regular bills. So again, yes, it's full circle. It's very holistic when you think about it, mind, body, spirit, and your money. You got to add that too. It all goes hand in hand.
That's true because that causes lack of education about money, lack
Mhm.
of having money, lack of a plan causes anxiety and stress. And more
Yes.
of us need to be prepared and have a plan or talk to someone that knows how to help you prepare. But so I love how, because Be Free is all about empowering, encouraging, and enlightening people. And that's what you do like every day in all
Yes.
places. You hit all of the places. But what I think also is awesome, I think you have to know this, that you have contributed to the women that are entrepreneurs, because you know how many black women are entrepreneurs now, how it just the numbers just keep rising and
They
rising.
do. It's amazing. And I'm so excited to see that happen. And I love that your program is called Free because that's what my name means in French. Francine means free. So I love
Really?
it. Yes, yes.
See, I knew there was something there.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
'cause I think we all need to be in it together. I think, sometimes we feel kind of, or we're so private and we're also very prideful that we don't
Mm-hmm.
ask for help. But
Yeah,
sometimes having this kind of conversation might get the dialogue started in somebody's house.
yeah.
Like,
True.
oh, they peeped it, you know what I mean? And they're like, oh, maybe just think about my situation and think
Right.
seriously about it.
Yeah. And the one good thing about my programs is I meet people where they are. So when they're ready to talk to me, whether it is about something, private, as far as their retirement and that sort of thing, how can they save money to invest in something and do something greater than what they've been doing, then I'm ready to talk to them. Or and it can be something as simple as doing a spending plan. I'm ready to do that too. Yesterday, I had a conversation with a young man who said, it seems like there's a lot of organizations, but they don't stay for the long haul to help people. And I had to tell him that's not true. The organizations are there. Sometimes people are just not ready to face true reality, and I'm a truth teller. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna tell the truth about it. We're gonna work it out, and we're no judgment zones here, of course. And I trust that, and I know that you are because I've seen some of your other programs. But we have to be authentic and talk about the things that really matter, and then we have to go a little bit deeper because it's okay for me to show you how to do a budget plan, but if you don't understand it, it's still not going to help you. So we just got to go those extra steps, go a little bit further, dive a little bit deeper.
Do you find since you mentioned the young, do you find younger people coming to you?
Yes, they do because once they feel like that they can approach me and getting to know me, because that's the most important thing. I never go into um, a meeting thinking that we're just going to jump in and do work. I like to get to know people. I like to talk to them about where they are and let them know that they're comfortable in my presence and we can talk about everything. And then once we build that relationship, because that's what it's about, relationship building, because
Yeah.
they don't know me, just like you said, she don't know me. She don't know what I'm doing. They don't know me either, right? It's like, what's this lady telling me that I have to save X amount of dollars? She don't know my business. She don't know what I've been through. I work hard for my money. I shouldn't have spent my money. And so once they get to know that that's not my plan, to be telling
Yeah,
you what to do. My plan is to talk to them about what they want to do and let them make good decisions for themselves.
that's got to be, and everybody is made to do what they're supposed to do. Like, I know I couldn't do it because it will be hard for me to have to tell someone the truth and then watch them still not do what they're supposed to do. So,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, I would be like,
I know. Look, you don't know how many times I was just like, I'm like, oh my God, I am an awful teacher, awful trainer. They didn't get it. They just they ghost me, right? Because when reality sets in, you're putting it in their face, and that's hard for some people to
yeah,
really
I can
see,
imagine.
what's coming in and all this is going out. And then the bottom line is I'm in a negative every single month. And now this lady is trying to tell me how I need to save 3 to 6 months of well, I can't even make it till next week. Payday. And so I used to think I was a horrible teacher. You have to get a thick skin when you're in the
Yeah,
finance world, because it is hard. And it wasn't me, it was what I just said. They weren't ready
it
for it.
wasn't. They don't want. It's hard to digest
It's
because
hard. It's very hard.
it's like, okay, you know what? And we're all not everybody's logical. I'm just, cause
No.
I keep it real because you're professional. I'm not.
Sometimes I am. Sometimes, right? It's Friday night though, so we gonna let our hair down, right?
So I'm just like, I know girlfriends like this. I know people, and I am very. People don't know like this about me. I am so very basic when it comes to stuff, materialistic things. You know what I mean? Like, I have solid, nice things. I don't have to go get the red bottom. I don't own a pair. For
Right.
me, I find that it's who's looking at the bottom of my shoe? Like, I'm just like, that's just me. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
somebody being really nosy because if they gotta dive that deep, then they have issues way
Right.
more in a conversation, right? About money, right?
Right. I've had friends that say, challenge me. Why don't you? You can do, but it's not logical when I can invest it somewhere and then have it
Right,
grow. You know
right,
what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
I just have a hard time. I guess I'm a tightwad a little bit.
Mm,
And I
that's
do believe I passed that gene on to my oldest daughter.
okay. Mm-hmm.
She's 29. And she was in the military before she ever graduated high school. I would talk to her because I made mistakes in my
Mm-hmm.
20s and because when you come out of college or you're right in there, they be giving you all kind of credit card. I
Oh
really had
yes.
her learn the hard way what not to do. So I would preach to her even in middle school. I mean, we would have hard lessons about money,
Mm-hmm.
finance. You watch mommy struggle here. Here's how not to do that ever.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're gonna be honest right now. We're gonna treat your social security number like it is your child. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean?
Protect
We have,
it.
you know,
Yes.
protect it. And I
Mm-hmm.
remember when she joined the military, which was shocking for all of us. Um, because she's very girly, but she did.
Yeah.
She joined the military, and remember, she wrote me in boot camp. She said, I know you don't think I was paying attention, but I want to tell you, thank you so much. I heard you.
Aw.
This is the best thing anyone could ever do. This was years ago. And since then, like when she graduated, we gave her a CD. The girl
Mhm.
held on to it. I don't think she's ever spent it yet. She
Wow.
invest, and she was 19, honestly, when she
Yeah.
bought her first home, because in the military, you could get a home.
Sure. Right.
So she did that, and of course she moved around and rented it out, and then
Mhm.
now she's in her later 20s. I won't tell you 'cause you know how old I am.
Right.
And
Guess what? It's good. It's all good.
she bought another home, but it's like I was never that responsible to see.
Right.
I was still caught up back then in stuff I felt like I had to have. And the
Mhm.
earlier you get that message, and from someone like you, Miss Lady, I mean, someone because this is what you do, Miss Humphrey. You know what I'm saying? The earlier
Yes.
this message from someone, the better. And you imagine
Yeah.
what our whole community could do if we all got this message and build in our own communities.
Absolutely. And so that's my claim to fame, it may not happen in my lifetime, but the more I educate, the more I train, the more I'm open to doing presentations and coming on programs like yours. I get to speak my truth, but I also get to educate other people. And Maya Angelou says it best. You do better until you know better, and so you do what you can do until you know to do better. And then once you figure it out and find out, then you don't have an excuse, because some people just don't know. And
Yeah.
that is awesome what you talked about your daughter. I go into the colleges and I talk to young people, first time college students for the whole family. This is the first time anybody in their families ever went to college. They don't know
Mhm.
what to do, they don't know what to expect. Yes, they're going to send you every credit card in America, and you have to learn how to say no, because and
Yeah.
then they're like, but nobody told me I was going to have to pay this back when I graduated. Because I'm like, yes, you do.
You
And,
gotta pay that
and
back.
yes, yes. So parents that are educated and can educate their children before they leave, they are that's the best thing that they can do. But if they don't get that, I go into the colleges locally to ODU, TCC, and I talk to the students, and I'm there like once a month in the fall seasons. I go, I sit at
That's
a table and I talk to them. And then if they need more, we can go upstairs to career services and do the one-on-one, because some of them have it together. Their parents did a really good job. And some of them, they say, Miss Humphrey, we never talked about money in my house. I
yeah.
didn't, we applied for this, grant for school. I got in. Now I don't know what to do.
Mm.
And though you hear the stories about the ramen noodles, and that's not no joke, the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, that's not how they should be living. They should have good, nutritious meals every single
Mhm.
day, but they have to learn how to budget their money. And then this is the first time some of them have been away from home. So mommy and daddy aren't looking. So they're doing everything under the sun, even though the mommy and daddy told you not to, but they're doing it anyway, because who's going to check them?
That's
You're not
right.
your professor's not going to call you and say, "Hey, yeah." So, yes.
That's
So
right.
yes, it's
I
awesome
need to
though.
know what school she go to because I still have two young people in the house who eventually go to school. I'm gonna send them to that school so that you can go talk to them.
Yes, I work with any college that'll bring me in, but right now I'm doing ODU, TCC, and Virginia Wesleyan. So they're
Okay.
bringing me in, yeah. And then anytime they have openings for me to do presentations, I do that as well. We're going to the library and we'll do they'll take their whole class hour and come in there and let me speak to the students. So it's just been an amazing journey. Yes. Love it. Love every minute of it.
I can tell you love it when it's contagious. Now here's sort of kind of off the beaten trail. It's kind of like off track, but it just popped in my head. So sorry. So okay, do you remember back in the day there was a thing called home economics class?
Yes.
Okay, so and now you didn't just learn how to cook and clean. You learned how to balance your checkbook. You learned how to.
Hmm.
I hate that they don't have that.
No, it's yes. It's
And I mean,
something. Yeah.
I mean, in some places they do. Have
Yeah.
you about? I mean, not to put more on you because you're already doing everything. But have you thought about like offering some kind of home economics workshop during the summer to children or to teens or to middle
I
school?
We do a plethora of different things. Like we'll do an etiquette class for teens during the summer. We do the Kids Law Academy where we bring in law professionals. But that's something that we could talk about because it's much needed. And so they're talking about making financial education one of the curriculums. But even when they do that, it's just a very tiny bit of it that they
Mm-hmm.
allow the students to participate in. So it would have to be something where they would be open to it. We actually did a pitch in Washington, D.C. To bring financial education to the school systems. It went really far, and then we hit a brick wall.
What
Um,
happened?
they were, I mean, we thought we were on the right track. We had, yes, yes, yes. We went to all these meetings, and then
Yeah.
somebody in a higher level said no, they couldn't afford to do it. And we knew that we probably would have done it free if they asked us, So You
Yeah.
know, they just let us into the schools to do it. We more than likely, but again, it takes money to do certain things, and there's a budget, and so we are hoping. And this was before COVID hit. We
Mhm.
spent a whole day talking about it and being interviewed by a plethora of people, and we kept getting yes, yes, yes. And then when we left DC, came back home, we got that devastating information that they didn't have the budget for it. So, and
Um,
so, yeah,
I try not to get too deep or whatever,
yeah,
but it did. And I also try not to sound like my husband and say conspiracy theory. I try. I
yeah,
However, it seems sometimes like those programs that our kids really need. I mean, really need, like even art.
yeah,
I mean, those
yeah,
important things that they
yeah,
don't have money for, but they have money for other programs.
right,
Really needs to be some shift in mind or some other people
right.
in to make different changes because we don't want people that show enough needed.
I know. And so we understand, and not to get too political, I think sometimes people stay in their seats too long, and
Yeah,
they become, I don't want to say hard nosed, but that's the only thing I can think of that's nice about the things that they think that we should be doing versus having younger people take seats. Like if you're in
yeah,
your seat, for 10 years, I'm like, you should be retiring and let some young folks come in there. If you've been in the Senate or whatever, we don't, and again, I don't want to talk political, but just
yeah.
to give you, you've been in the city council. Let's do that because that's local, right? You've been
Hmm.
in the city council for 40 years. Your children are now adults with children, but your
Hmm.
mindset is still the same because even though your children may say, "Hey, mom, this is something that would be great for the school board or the school system to do," you're of another generation.
Yeah,
You're of the mindset that, well, it worked for me. If it was good enough for me, then that should be good enough for you. And it's not, because just what you were saying, the arts programs, they try to add the A to the STEM, the STEMA. I don't see where that's going anywhere because as we're seeing more and more, the arts have been being pushed to the side. And there
yeah,
are, different forms about that. So it's a lot that we can get into. But again, I'm only one person, you're only one person. So we have to speak our truths and hope that somebody hears it and takes up the mantle. That's what we have to do. So I will talk to some of the people that I know about doing a summer program for home economics, because it's much, and even not just the cooking, but also the, we used to make stuff out of wood in that class. We had a
yeah.
woodwork
Uh,
class as
you
well.
learn
Yeah, we
what
made the
baby?
ashtray out of wood
You can make
cardboard.
a holder.
Yes, yes. And so that's, again, we have to be open to new things, innovation, and sometimes you just got to go back to the basics and
Yeah,
just start from the beginning and just move it forward, because we love, STEM, we love science, technology, we
yeah,
love all of that, math, engineering, we love all of that. But what about the arts? Because everybody's not going to go to college.
yeah. True.
They're not.
Exactly.
So
Yeah,
what happens to those kids? And to tell a young lady nowadays that she has to get married and get a husband, that is totally ridiculous. So that's not a conversation that we should be having with them. She should be able to do whatever it is that she wants to do. And
yeah.
so I'm all on that page all day, because it's all about the women and what we can do and how we can do it better. So
I want you to seriously, on a side note, I'm in Williamsburg, but I would be interested in whatever program you do in the summer for.
okay,
I have a 12-year-old and a 14-year-old
okay,
here at the house, and I think it would be good for them, even etiquette. Just
yeah,
to,
yeah,
like,
yeah. Yeah,
I
because you never know. You have to know what fork to use when you're sitting at the corporate dinner party and you're like, okay, we got three forks. Why
you
do we have
know,
three forks?
and
And
they know.
just, and we, yeah, and it's so important that we know that and how to eat your meal with a knife and a fork, even if it's pizza. And we can
Yeah,
make it fun for the kids. How to
they
eat
should.
your pizza with a knife and a fork. Yeah. So
those things are so important.
they are.
I wish I could find my book, but I have a book. It's this thick. My
Mhm.
parents sent me to etiquette school, and we
Yes.
have a book this
Yes.
thick. But
Yes.
the problem is, I'm my child's parent, and they're of a different generation. Not like my first child. A whole they different than
Yeah.
my 30, than my almost 30-year old, and so they
Yeah.
can't hear me that good. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so I think like coming from somebody else, they would be like,
Yes.
oh. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I can receive that.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes that's what it takes. Somebody else saying it. You've been saying it all along. They don't hear you because you're
Sometimes,
mommy. And
and
you're,
we,
you know,
yeah, just know
and as
that.
wonderful as I know that you're still just their mom. And the same thing in my house. I can be in the middle of, online conference and my husband in the background saying, when you gonna cook me something to eat? So I'm like, so what? I'm in the middle of a thing here. But
Yeah,
to them, we're just the mom or the wife or
so,
the grandma. For
yeah.
me, yeah,
So yeah,
yes,
just
absolutely.
it's so important, and I get excited when I meet people like because I for real would like be like, okay, now when is this workshop that I'm about to send my children? You know what I mean? Like I
Okay,
will really be all in. Now, okay, so
yeah.
when I was looking at your information, did I see that you had a book at some point?
I do, and it's called "There's Power in the Plan," and it's all about starting your small business. So I kind of tell my story there about how I got started and how just some of the things that I learned on a
Mhm.
personal level about what it took to do be a small business owner. It takes discipline, it takes perseverance, and just getting out of your comfort zone, not being afraid, not listening to the naysayers, because they're always going to tell you can't do something, especially the people that you think will be in your corner. And I found out so many people are not. You're
Yeah.
thinking, they know who I am, but it was like, you really want to do that? Do you have time to do that? Is that,
Uh,
it costs a lot of money. How are you going to do that? And I'm like, you don't worry about that. If
right.
this is something that I want to do, then I'm going to do it. And once I make up my mind, there's no stopping me. And so I have that book, and I also help other people write books as well. So I was a ghostwriter for many years, and I still help somebody, but my fee is really astronomical, so people don't ask me anymore. So, and I do that because when somebody's writing
It's
something,
time
you
consuming.
you have to pull their whole soul and spirit
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
get it done, and it's a lot of hard work. So I was a ghostwriter, and I started writing for corporations as well, like workbooks and planning books. And I have another workbook that's coming out, and it should be by January, and it's all about money as well, money, and some little twists to it, some of the things that we're dealing with and I see it every single day, and some of the things that are not being addressed when we're talking about money, because we really have to dive deep. So in that piece, and once I get it done, I'll send it to you, and
I,
we're really diving deep into what is the root of the problem, because all the time it's not money. I have people in my class, from people who have not completed high school, or they may have their GED, and I don't want to say just, because taking a GED test is pretty strenuous and
mhm.
hard. It's easier to go to school, but they've done it. They have their GED, and then I have people in my class who have PhDs, but they've never been educated about the money, and they've never talked about why they feel a certain way about money. And we're going to dive into that in
Mhm.
January, because people do what they normally see their parents do, or if they grew up with their siblings, what do they do? Was your sibling the one who hoarded all the money, that didn't give you any money? You had to beg, borrow, and steal to get what you wanted. Or were your parents just like free and gave you everything, and never talked to you about what it took for them to be in that position to do that? So we're going to dive deep into that as well. And I think you might have met Veronica McMillan. We're working on a project together to talk about that money piece. So yeah,
That's exciting. Okay,
it
so
is.
now I put in your Instagram link in the chat. Is that where they can find information about your book?
No, what they have to do is go to my issues concerning women.org, my website.
I
Yeah.
got it.
If they go to the website, they can find the book there. And then if they can't find it, just send me a message and I can get it to somebody if they want it. Yeah.
Okay.
They should be able to find it there though. But I do need full disclosure, I do need to do some updates on the website, so it still should be
I'm like, "Ooh, I should probably just remove that." So
there.
you're
Yeah.
the one.
It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, I know. So we when and being where we are and doing all the things that we do, sometimes when we're asking other people to do things, it doesn't get done quite the way you want it to get done. But we're okay, and I can't do everything by myself. So hey, I'm working on that as well because that's what business owners do. You
Yeah.
know, you bring other folks in to help you. Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. Yes.
Well, I don't want to hold you too late, but I'm just so delighted that now you know I'm not an official stalker, maybe a little bit, but
You're fine. Thank you so
for
much.
real, this was so awesome, and I hope you have you on again because I like
Thank
to do that.
you.
Like I like to do updates, especially when you're.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I would love to, and I will love to have you on my radio show. So I will be sending you the information. Yes, and we can talk. And it's the Issues Concerning Women radio talk show. It comes on Thursday nights at 6:30.
Well,
So
can
I would
you send
love.
me an email or something?
I
So
will.
I'm on radio too, but
Yeah.
just on an online, not just, but I'm on an online radio show, and so there's a whole different. It just
Yeah.
set up differently.
We're
It's not.
online now too. We started live in 2008. I think it was the first year, 2008. We were on a couple of local stations,
Oh,
and they'll invite me from time to time to come back. But you have to have some sponsors to do that. So now we're doing the Blog Talk Radio because we
okay.
can control it as well. And then that goes out to our Apple audience and iHeart Radio, I believe, as
Well
well. So
done.
yeah, so
Okay.
yeah, so we're.
Awesome. Yeah, don't forget to send me because I will check it out.
I will. I will. Yes, indeed. I sure will. And I'll be looking forward to seeing more great and wonderful things from you. So I'm excited that we had the opportunity to meet. So-
Mostly, this is what this is my heart. Like this kind of thing here is just I get a ball. I just love
Mhm.
doing this sort of thing. I do other
Right.
things too. Last weekend I was invited by the Virginia Girl Scouts, the Girl Scouts of Virginia, to come
Yes. Yes.
and speak to them. And
Wonderful.
awesome, and so I'm
Yes.
excited to go back. I like doing that. I want to do more and more of that. So we'll see how this year turns out.
Yeah. It'll be great. It'll be awesome. Whatever we do, just walk
Yeah.
in it, and just be to it. And that's what I do every single day. I'm like, okay, what are we doing today?
Like I think the key to all of it is don't stop doing it. Because
Yes.
I mess up sometimes. I'm like, like it's just not going the way I want to go.
Yes, yes,
But don't stop. Whatever you're doing, you guys,
absolutely,
don't stop. Just keep doing
absolutely. Yes, don't stop.
it. Mhm.
Yes, I agree 100%. So thank you again for having me. I enjoyed myself. I was like,
Yeah, me
yay!
too.
And it's
Oh,
Friday too. Yes.
I will see you the next time.
Thank you so much for having me, and I look forward to being invited back again.
All right. Have a good weekend.
All right, you too. Take care now.
All
Okay,
right.
bye
Bye.
bye.
Oh, that was fun. All right. There we go.